Sri Lanka, they've got the talent. Now they've got to bring the A game to the table. They lost to Bangladesh, didn't end up as table toppers, came in second from their group into the Super Fours, but they'd like to do better now. Nepal, really, they've been led well by their captain, Pooja Mahato. Had an important innings in that match against Pakistan. Got a responsible 47 in, took a couple of wickets with the ball as well. And of course, there's Sana Praveen that Nepal will look to as well. But Pooja Mahato, she's got the capability, she's got the strength as well to play those straight batted shots. She played a very responsible innings in that match against Pakistan that guided her team to a win. And that was instrumental in Nepal qualifying for the Super Fours. Sri Lanka, their captain as well, Manudi Nanyakara, got an important half century and got a good score of 74 in that first match, albeit against Malaysia. That gave them the win. And Rashmika, of course, has shown the capability as well with both ball and bat. She's a capable bowler with the new ball, picked up a 4-4, 23 in match number 3. It's an important performance from her. That game against Bangladesh. But now the important story will be, how do you face off in today's match when you head into the Super 4? Spin has been the key, and how do you play spin on this surface? Of course, we had a masterclass with Sanamir and Dev Watmore giving his tips.
The Under-19 ACC Asia Cup has been dominated by spinners, and sometimes the batters were short of answers. So we went to Dave Watmore. We thought, just pick his mind, brilliant batting mind. How to negotiate that spin, Dave?
Okay, first of all, I'd say that a consistent thing, I'd say, you must assess the length as well as you can. And to do that, you need to watch the ball out of the hand. So I'm assuming batters will be watching carefully the ball as it's released. Now you were talking about an off-spin coming to the right-hander. You need to get close to it. So what do I mean by that? You inch across to the off-stump guard. Sometimes even you can be outside. And what you're trying to do is to negate ways of getting out. First of all, when you take a step forward and it hits you on the pad, you're not going to be out. That's outside the off-stump. If it's turning too much, you're going to be missing leg. So that's out of the equation. Secondly, you have to try and knock the ball into a gap by just putting that bat in front of the pad. Now, if you want to have an attacking option, then it's using your feet a little bit more and hitting it into the vacant area, if there's a vacant area, no protection. Or you can sweep, paddle sweep, or even slog sweep, or a conventional sweep. That's your attacking options. For the left-arm spinner now, the left-arm spinner to a right-hander, you need to do the opposite. You just back away, and then if you take a step and get hit on the pad, no way is that LBW. That's either hitting outside the leg stump or it's missing the off stump. So that's one of the reasons you back away. And when you're doing that, please play with the spin. We've seen plenty of girls getting out this way because that's too easy. The bottom hand comes in, you're trying to whack it. You must be disciplined and play through the offside. Play through the offside with the spin on all occasions.
That's brilliant from Dave Watmore, and I do feel that the batters who can watch this piece will be able to implement that.
Well, the masterclass has been given, now it's time to implement it. But the surface, where the ground staffs put in a lot of effort to ensure that the playing conditions have been top-notch here at the Bioemas Cricket Oval. They've worked really hard. And today, of course, is the new pitch that's being used, but let's go down now. Sana Mir was there with the two captains and the match referee for the toss.
And we are ready with the toss of match 2 of Super 4 stage of the ACC Under-19 Women's Asia Cup. I've got both the captains with me. For Nepal, Pooja Mahato. For Sri Lanka, Manudi Nanayakara. And the match referee, J.S. Lakshmi. Pooja has the coin.
Heads.
Heads is the call. Heads is the call.
It's tails.
Tail it is.
We want to bowl first.
You want to bowl first. Why is that decision?
Because of weather condition, we want to utilize that.
And thinking of the opposition in mind, what would be a good score to restrict them?
I think 100 and below.
100
Yeah.
runs and below.
Yeah.
And Nepal come into this Super 4 stage unbeaten. How is the feeling in the camp?
Yeah, it was great feeling because no one is expecting that we are in top 4 and we will. So in starting also, I already said that we want to create history and words comes true. So
Definitely you have created history. Any changes to your 11?
no, we don't have any change.
Okay, good
Yeah,
luck.
thank you.
Manudi, what would you have done if you had won the toss?
Yeah, first bat we think in the toss winning.
So what is a good score? The pitch has looked okay so far.
Yeah, I think it's our target is 150. So same as here.
So what can Sri Lanka do differently in this match? You're batting, sometimes the top order has performed a little bit, sometimes the middle order, you came with runs. What can you do differently in this match?
Especially my openers, Hiruni and Sanjana will hit the ball. Then we can get a good target. And Rashmika and me always hitting the ball in the power. So I think we need a good target for the Nepal team.
Any changes to your 11?
Pramod is out in the team and Shashini Gimhani in our team, the new player.
Okay, thank you. Go well.
Thank you.
And the news from the center is Nepal has won the toss and they are bowling first.
So Nepal winning the toss and electing to bowl first. Sri Lanka making that one change in their lineup. Shashini has been included in the lineup. Shashini Gimhani. That's what the captain told Salamir at the toss. But they said 150. That's what they're looking at, Manudi, the captain. That's going to be a tough ask against a very disciplined Nepal bowling attack. And Pooja Mato, I'm sure, would not like them to get as much. Dev Watmore is with me in the commentary box. I'm Raman Manoj. Dev's had a long day out there, a double shift, the masterclass, and now in the com box.
Thank you, Raman. Yeah, look, the masterclass was okay. We have to condense that down. A lot more to it, of course, but I'm happy to share my thoughts with anybody who is interested. And I'm also very interested to see good pieces of play, regardless of wherever the girls come from. And we're looking forward to this game also. This is a very, very important for both of them.
Sanjana Kavandi is going to be out there in the middle to start the innings for Sri Lanka. Had a good knock in one of the matches. Didn't really get too many in the other. Got a 20-odd in quick fire in one of the games. Hiruni Hansika, she's a capable cricketer. We've seen her bowl very well. Very handy off spinner and a left-handed bat. Now out there to open the innings with Sanjana Kavindi. Pooja Mato, the captain for Nepal, has got the ball in her hands. She said, we've already created history. We came here to create history. We have. We beat Pakistan. We are an unbeaten side coming into the Super Fours. 2 wickets to her name. And she's going to take up the cudgels with the ball for Nepal in the first over.
Yeah, and I rather fancy that they're very reliant on Pooja.
Releases that, not much pace behind that ball, but the line was good. Now, just as the umpire said play, there was a clapping of thunder that you heard in the background. And that is a worrying sign, because over the last 2 days, we have had matches interrupted and abandoned due to that rain aspect and the thunder and lightning. More importantly, lightning first, followed by rain. Well played, but not in the gap. They've taken a single, a risky one at that. And the batter, Sanjana, has just taken a knock as the helmet came off when the throw came in. And I hope it didn't hit her on the head.
I think she's well protected there. It was a good dive, but she didn't really need to do that. What I was really interested to see was a beautiful shot that was timed perfectly. Have a look at this, the full face of the bat, and it's going straight to where the ball went. So she was in easily, but you know, I don't think there's any problem with this. It's not much venom in the throw, hit the head, but I think it's mandatory now just to give a little concussion test. But I tell you what, you're right about the clap of thunder. The ground staff are ready with the covers, so at any moment this game could be stopped.
Yes, and this has been the worrying sign. Over the last couple of days, we've seen this happen just around this time in the afternoon. So it's pretty consistent, this cloud cover building up just around 1 and thereabouts, and then kind of starts getting heavier around 2, 2:30 local time. But to the time it doesn't rain, we're okay. But the other thing that's a cause of concern is the lightning. And lightning has struck various parts around this area, which is why the umpires are very, very careful. The moment they feel that there is a risk that that lightning poses to the safety of the players, we've seen play being stopped.
That's fair enough too. Until that comes, play will resume, will continue, I'd rather. And Pooja, slow medium play. Look at that shot. I really love that technique of hitting through the offside with a full face of the bat, and easily made good her ground.
Oh, playing across this time around. There's not much pace to work with for Hiruni, trying to force the issue. Also seeing that gap once she clears the mid-wicket fielder.
Yes, well, there you see, in total contrast to the shot that produced a single. That one was aimed across the line of where the ball was going, and that's flirting with danger. That you can either whack it in the middle of the bat and be lucky, or it'll go straight up in the air if you don't hit the middle.
Beaten outside off. There's an appeal, and the umpire gives it. Well, the batter is perplexed, but Nepal are delighted. Well, the coach can't believe it. The Sri Lankan camp are stunned. I felt that was a beauty of a delivery, just angled across, but Hiruni feels that she didn't get any bat on it. The important part is the umpire does, and she has to walk back to the hut.
And it's Pooja again, isn't it? They are very reliant on the captain of Nepal. A nice little length and direction.
But I think they're just waiting to check if the ball has been collected cleanly. I think that's why the on-field umpire has just signaled to the TV umpire to check if the ball carried into the keeper's gloves. And I believe that has been confirmed. Let's take another look at it.
All right, no question of a legitimate delivery. Pooja is well inside with the front foot. So the umpires adjudicated there was an edge, clean catch. I'm not sure why they were making fuss about that. It was just straight into the gloves. Good catch by the keeper. Difficult to tell without Snicko for us. But what matters is what the umpire feels. And as we're all brought up to Roman, and we're all brought up in the right way, the umpire you respect the umpire.
Absolutely, they're running the game, and the umpire's in the best position to tell whether there was an edge, and she felt that probably there was a faint tickle of the bat. And the question that's now being asked is whether the ball carried cleanly into the wicket-keeper's gloves. And that red light will flash because the ball was collected cleanly by the keeper. It didn't bounce on the way through. So Hiruni is out without scoring, and Sri Lanka have lost their first wicket.
A new season of the Champions League, with more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
And Mbappe puts it into the back of the net. On with another goal.
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network.
Wicket, just a run on the board. Not the kind of start that Sri Lanka would have hoped for, but just the perfect recipe for the captain of Nepal. She's picked up a wicket, end of the first over. It's 1 for 1.
I walk the walk, I talk the talk, I play the ball, I do it all.
the first over, and now the rain's picked up. And straight away, the ground staff swing into action. Prompt as ever. But suddenly, the tempo of that smattering of drops has increased. It's actually coming down, and coming down quite severely. This has suddenly turned into a downpour. Within a span of 60 seconds, it started pouring here at the Biomas Cricket Oval. And credit to the ground staff. Really, they've worked tirelessly. Look at the effort. They were ready in anticipation. But look at the vagaries of nature here. You can still see some parts where there's still bright light in some parts of the sky. Then there's that heavy cloud cover. And it's just very quickly engulfed the ground here and started pouring. Well, it's all happening here at the Biomas Cricket Oval in Klang in Malaysia. This is really tough on the ground staff, but they're very, very adept. I think credit to them. They are at times the unsung heroes. The fact that they make sure that the ground conditions don't worsen because they get the covers on in the nick of time, make sure the square is covered. Once that is done, the bowlers' run-ups covered first, and then they'll ensure that the rest of the square gets covered around the area. Covers don't entirely engulf the entire outfield, but they try and cover as much of it as possible.
Yeah, and Roman, it gets really heavier once the water gets on those covers, even though you've got 7, 8 or even 9 red shirts pulling on covers, it gets really heavy and it's not easy to do. So we really appreciate their efforts. But the locals know exactly what's going on. They were ready. And this rain has come roughly a couple of hours earlier than what we've seen in the last 2 days. So, but they're ready for it, and they've been very good at it.
Absolutely. This is what it looks like for Sri Lanka. Just that one over bowled in their innings, and they lost the wicket of Hiruni out without scoring. 1 for 1 after 1. Well, talk about a binary code. The zeros and ones, it's all there on the scorecard. Pooja, the lone wicket taker, the captain of Nepal, who chose to bowl first and was ably rewarded with that wicket. That's the way it stands at the moment. Ground staff pressed into action straight away after the first over as the players hurried off, and that drizzle turned into a downpour within the span of 60 seconds. We'll slip into a break, but we'll be back as soon as we have an update on weather improving here at Klang in Malaysia.